Hello friends, today we are doing something that needs to be done. If you are new here, I'm Hannah and welcome to Hannah's Reading Realm. But we are gonna just jump right on in, and the thing we need to get to today is something I'm sure you need to get to as well. And having book subscriptions is so fun, right? It's so fun getting a little happy mail each month, picking out your choice and blah blah blah. But then we let them sit there and sit there and sit there. Not that we're not excited about them, but they just like might not have been something we would have picked up if it wasn't for the subscription service. And so we let them fall to the wayside and let them collect dust. And today I'm dusting them off and reading them. I have two different book subscriptions. I'm subscribed to Book of the Month, which my affiliate link is down below, and I am subscribed to Afterlight, where you can join the waitlist, and it is a special edition romance subscription. You don't pick the book, they just send it to you. And in today's video, I have two Book of the Month, and then I have my March Afterlight. That's not been sitting here for too long. But the first book that I have here is November 2023, and it is, at the time of filming this, May 2025, probably June 2025 by the time you guys are seeing this. And that is Again and Again by Jonathan Evison. And this is a book about a guy who claims he has lived like a bunch of lives. And I do have this on audio, so I'll probably listen to it on audio. I don't really know anything about this. I have not heard anybody talk about it, but I'm excited to give it a go. Then we have Dearest by Jacquie Walters, and this is a horror book of the month pick. It has horrible reviews on Goodreads. I love the idea of it though. It's about this mom who has a baby, obviously. The baby is premature, the dad is deployed, and she is having a hard time coping with the newborn stage on her own, and she swears somebody's like talking to the baby through the monitor. And then her estranged mother shows up and wants to help with the baby, but something sinister seems to be happening. And like, that sounds right up my alley, but I know this has bad reviews. But I'm gonna go into it with an open mind and hopefully it's good. And then finally we have got Fan Service by Rose Danan. This is such an like adorable copy, and then like the naked hardcover is so good. This is, I think, a monster romance, which I don't know how I really feel about that, but we're gonna give it a go. The only like monster romance I've read is My Roommate is a Vampire, and that's more like a hee hee ha ha time, and I did give it 5 stars, so maybe I'll like it. But I think this is werewolves. And this is about Alex, and he's not a real werewolf. He just plays one on TV. The only place small town outcast Alex Lawson fits in is the online fan forum she built for The Arcane Files, a long-running werewolf detective show. Her dedication to archiving fictional supernatural lore made her internet famous, even if she harbors a secret disdain for the show's star, Devin Ashwood. And I think he like actually is a werewolf, so we will see. We're kind of all over the place with genres in this video, but I'm hoping that we have at least 2 winners. If I don't like Fan Service, I do have a friend I'm going to gift it to, but I really do hope that I like it because I love the cover. But I don't like to keep books on my shelf that I don't like, so we will see. But let's get on into it, and this is your reminder. Go put one of your book subscription books on your TBR right now. Pause. Go do it. Welcome back. Now let's get into it. Alrighty friends, we are going to start with this book for our reading our book subscriptions. And this, I'm going to listen to it on audio while I work for the rest of the day. It's about our main character Eugene, and he's a lonely old man, and he's clinging to his delusions and fantasies, and basically he's living out his final days in an elder care facility, and he's bored and grumpy, and he connects to the new nursing assistant Angel and starts telling Angel about all the lives that he's lived. That's all I really know. I'm like 20 minutes in, so can't really say a whole lot, but we're gonna go jump into it. And I've been reading books for my sad books video, which came out before this, and I'm ready for something that's not gonna be, I hope this is not too sad, because I'm sick of being sad. Okay guys, I'm about 40% through the audiobook, and we are making an early dinner. I'm making just like white people chicken tacos because I'm starving. And it's only like 4:30, but we have plans tonight for 8. So we're both like like really hungry. Me and my husband are both really hungry right now, so we're just gonna prepare some dinner, late lunch, early dinner for right now, and I'm gonna tell you about the book. So in this book, we have our main dude, Gino, or Gerald, I don't know. We've got the main guy who's claiming he's like 105 and that he's lived for 11,000 or 1,100 years and he's lived all these lifetimes. And there is the new guy, Angel, working at the facility, and he's kind of like befriended him and has taken him out on adventures and he's given him life advice. And I'm gonna be so for real with you right now. I'm painfully bored. It's giving 2-star. I don't like it at all. I don't like Gino very much. I don't care about Angel. Angel's girlfriend's pregnant and he just like proposed to her, I think, per Gino's suggestion. It's just very, very boring. And I kind of want a DNF, but I don't think I'm gonna because I'm already like almost halfway done. But we will see where the wind takes us. I am just not obsessed with the experience I am currently having while reading this book. It's not entertaining, it's not interesting. I wanted it to be more like gut-wrenching, but it's basically like also everybody thinks that Gino's kind of off his rocker and that he hasn't actually lived all of these lifetimes. The only person that's like taking him seriously is Angel, but you can't really even tell if Angel's taking him seriously or is just like being nice. So it's all kind of like up in the air, honestly, but I'm just not having fun and I'm not liking it. And yeah, so for somebody who's been quite slumpy lately, listening to yet another book that's not bringing me joy is not promising. It's really not. It's really not. But I digress. We're gonna keep going for now. If I get to like, I don't know, I've just been so bad about DNFing, even though I really should sometimes just let myself. I just like, unless I DNF a book within like the first 20%, I'm like, well, I've already come this far, I might as well see it through. So that's kind of where I'm at, unfortunately, with this story. But I will update y'all whenever we finish. I genuinely don't think I could look worse if I tried, but we finished again and again today on audio, and I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It's really unfortunate because the last like 25% of this book was like a 4.5, but the first 75% of the book was like a 2. So I don't necessarily recommend this book, but I did think that the conclusion of the story was like really sweet and it did give me goosebumps and made me tear up a little bit. So basically we're following our guy Gino, and he claims that he has lived like all of these lives, and in every life he's looking for, I forget her name, Gladys, Gertrude, some bitch. He's like looking for his wife, his great love in all of these lifetimes, and he makes an unlikely friendship with one of the new nursing assistants, Angel, and it's just ends up being very sweet. But I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. Don't really recommend because I don't think that the bullshit is worth the ending. But what else do we have? We have Dearest and Fan Service. I don't know which one we're going to read next, so I will let you know when I know. Okay, guys. We have read and finished Dearest, and I did not update you a single time. It's pretty short. It's like less than 300 pages, and I read it straight through. This book, oh man, this book. So going into this, I was originally quite apprehensive because it does not have very good reviews. It has a low 3, which for me is kind of startling. But I was buddy reading this with my friend, and she started it, and she was like 40% through, and she's like, I'm like really enjoying it, like it's pretty good. and she's like, it's pretty creepy. And I'm like, okay. So I started. The first 10%, I'm like, I don't know. And then up to about like probably 30%, I was like, okay, yeah, this is creeptastic. And then after that, no. I gave it 2 stars. The first portion was like a 4-star, and then the rest of it just really fell apart so deeply for me personally. I have seen a lot of reviews that say that this book is a fever dream, and I see that sentiment in both positive and negative reviews, so it kind of just depends on how you personally feel about that, and it's not something that I super care about. We have our main character, Flora. She just had a baby, Iris, and her husband is deployed. She's having a very hard time postpartum. There is like this many pages. There's probably at least 50 pages dedicated to talking about nipples in this book. Swollen nipples, engorged nipples, bloody nipple clots, blistered nipples, infected nipples, like you name the nipple, it's in this book. And I just was over, it was just so much. And I could not stand it, but she's struggling. Her dad and her stepmom came to stay with her for a couple of weeks after she had the baby, and everything was fine, and then they left and she realized how hard it was. She's estranged from her mom, and you find that out in like about why throughout the book. And she sends her mom an email and asks her, like, or not, doesn't ask her, just says like, I really wish you were here. Her mom shows up and things get sinister from there. So it's 2 stars. I do not recommend it. Then last night I read about 30% of fan service by Rose Danan, and I'm also not enjoying this very much. Like as of right now, it's like a 2-star. I have read 8 chapters, and I don't know why. In 8 chapters, 4 of them have mentioned COVID. I am personally not super like affected by COVID talk in books. Like it doesn't bother me. But it's just been mentioned so many times for no good reason, and it's annoying me. So in this book, we have our main character, Alex, and she is a vet tech, and the first chapter is like a 15-page prologue from like 7 years prior, I believe. It's like 7 years ago, I think. Oh no, 17 years ago. So the character's actually older in this book, which is pretty cool. I do enjoy that. They're like in their 30s. So 17 years ago, Alex was 17, and she was obsessed with this werewolf show called The Arcane Files. And she was like the mod for some sort of like fan page about them, and she goes to some convention and meets the main guy. His name's Devin, who plays like the main character, and he was an asshole. And then from there, she still continued to be the mod, and then she like started running like a wiki page. I was never into fanfic, so a lot of these like terms don't really hit with me, but she's now a vet tech, and you get like alternating who you're like reading about. This is the same with the other Rose Danan book I've read, are written in 3rd person, which is something I personally struggle with in general, but especially in romance, because I find it so hard to care / connect to the characters, and it takes me quite some time to get there. This book is like almost 450 pages, so it's also like I have time to connect to them, but as of 30%, I'm still not super connected. She is a vet tech, and she lives with her dad. Her dad is unwell health-wise, and so they kind of just like live together. Her mom left when she was young. And then we have Devin, and he hasn't really acted much since the show ended, and weird things are starting to happen. He's starting to have these periods of blackouts. And a video surfaced of him online where he thought maybe he just like got drunk and blacked out, but he says that things aren't even like hazy, time is just missing. And in this video, it basically looks like he's transforming into a werewolf, and it is like the day after like a blood moon or something, and like he just sporadically grows fangs and claws and hair, and people are like, oh my god, man, how'd you do that? Like, how'd you do that special effect? Like, that was crazy. And he's like, I don't know. So he starts Googling, how do you know if you're actually a werewolf? Which I think we're just like accepting that that's a possibility. And he finds Alex's wiki page, and there is like a contact the writer, and he's like, oh, I bet they won't like reply back. So he emails, and of course she shows up, or she's like, okay, meet me here. So he flies to Florida and like meets her, and she thinks the whole thing is this elaborate prank, but he's like, no, like, I need your help, I will pay you. And her dad really need money because he has a lot of medical bills, and she is gonna try to help him just figure out whether or not he is a werewolf. And I'm pretty sure this was like one of the first scenes in the book, so that's pretty cool. He also has blonde hair, and that's immediately a turn off. And another thing that is slightly irritating me about this book is, like, she's a tattooed girl, which is perfectly fine, perfectly cool. I mean, literally same, but he keeps saying she's just this hot goth girl with tattoos, and he's like repeatedly said it, and it's just making me get the ick a little. But we're gonna continue on. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go do some work, and I'm reading this on my Kindle, I think. Yeah. And I will continue this later. I will say it is kind of cool. There are, like, at the ends of some chapters, like, excerpts from the wiki article, and then there are, like, some text messages, which is also quite fun. But I'm so far not really liking it and thinking it's gonna be at most a 3, but I've been surprised before, so let's go. Okay, I will admit, I was looking cute at one point today, but not anymore. I was actively editing this video and realized I did not have an ending clip. I did finish a fan service, and I give it 2 stars. In this book, our main character, Alex, and the guy's name is Devin. In the book, Devin is like your average guy, and then there is like this blood moon situation, and then like there's videos of him where people are thinking he's using like special effects to like turn into a werewolf, but like he's not, and he's like, oh my god, what if I'm really turning into a werewolf? And I just couldn't get behind it. I've read, the only other like monster romance I've read is My Roommate is a Vampire. In that book, like, he is a vampire, and in this book it's more like Alex is trying to help Devin figure out if he is a werewolf in a world where werewolves do not exist. It's not like a common known thing. I feel like if it was a thing that like just some people are werewolves and he thinks maybe he is, I could have gotten behind it. But the fact that like werewolves weren't like a thing and Alex just goes along with it from the start, from the jump, she's like, oh yeah, let's find out if you're a werewolf. Woo. I just hated it. So we had two stars in this video, which is terrible. And then we had 1 3-star. So honestly, not very successful at all. Not very successful at all, but I'm keeping both my subscriptions. That's just that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna hold on to this book for now because it is so pretty, and I'll probably unhaul it at some point. But so because this is cute, the main male character physically reminds me a lot of my friend Shanna. So my friend Shanna's ever in town visiting, this will be her memento to go home with. But in the meantime, I'm gonna hold on to it just because I think it is so pretty. But what a disappointment this video has been. And yeah, make sure you're reading your subscriptions because I've had more wins than losses with them. Well, I've only read 2 books from Afterlight, and it was 1 hit and 1 miss. So I think I'm really gonna spend this year trying to get through my subscription books, and then maybe in January reassess if this is something I should keep spending my money on. But I do have my book of the month link down below if you do want to sign up. And Afterlight, you can join the wait list. I only had to wait like 1 month, and then I got accepted in. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.